Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? This is a pick a card reading, and it is going to be about what you don't see coming, or what's in your blind spot. So I'm going to take my time. I want to show you that I do prepare my bundles, and I don't have a look at the cards when I do pick a deck. So I'll just chat with you while I'm doing this. There will be timestamps below this video where you can forward to your pick a card or pick a bundle. I prefer to read with full decks when I do a pick a card, so I suppose it's like pick a deck really, simply because it feels like there's more possibilities when I'm shuffling and when I'm tuning in. So I'm preparing my first bundle. These are two cards from the Rumi Oracle Guide deck by Alana, Fairchild, and I will also post below this video all the decks and all the oracle cards that I'm using. And so we want to focus on things that you can't see coming. I feel like the times that we're living in now has changed so much, say even to 50 years ago, where you could anticipate what is going to happen. Next year, 2 years, you could do your long-term planning. But these days, our daily life changes so fast and so hard that it's very difficult to kind of anticipate because things are so changeable. All right, so that's my first bundle, and I'm using my power shell to mark that. So in this one I'm using The Answer is Simple by Sonia Choquette. These are my little oracle cards, what you don't see coming. Okay, so my name is Ahorangi Starchild. I'm New Zealand based. I do readings 3 days of the week: Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays. I'm also a healer. I'm an Elohim practitioner. Energetic healer. I do absent healings. I do healings here at home. Below my video there are links where you can contact me or read up about me. And there's also a donation button, so if you find yourself clicking on that button, and see 2 also came out there, we'll keep those. Funny, I got 2 in the first bundle and then 2 in this one as well. So if you find yourself clicking on that donation button, well, thank you for valuing me and thank you for valuing my time. In this one, I'm using my Morgan Greer. Yeah, thank you for valuing me. Thank you for valuing my time. I love reading, bringing light and guidance. Even as a reader, I like to just go straight to the information that's needed, rather than bring in other bits of information sometimes which my clients might feel is irrelevant. So if you have a specific question, then I just go straight for it. I charge $60 for a half-hour reading. That's New Zealand dollars. $100 for an hour reading. I have PayPal facilities. A healing is $80. That's an hour session. I read online on Skype. I read on this one. We're going to use my little Manaya for bundle 2. And I'll be using Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. I think we should have 2 from this oracle deck as well. Yeah, so I have PayPal facilities. I read online. I do FaceTime. I do Skype. I do email readings as well. We might as well do 2 for that one, isn't it? Looks like 2 is the charm today. Now what tarot deck? I think for that one I want to use my Viceversa. Viceversa. I haven't even taken out the box yet. So this is about what you don't see coming. What's in your blind spot? What do you need to know to smooth out your journey in the way of life? What do you need to prepare yourself for? What is it that you feel is okay that perhaps isn't okay? Things, information, situations that is kind of like brewing underneath the surface. You know, brewing underneath the surface, boiling up. And then you feel like, oh, everything is fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no. Here in Kiwiland we go, yeah, and then we go, no. Yeah, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Okay, so vice versa. And for that one we're going to use, let's use one of my organite pyramids for that. It's a bit big, but we'll just put it there, shall we? Okay, so thank you for joining me, whanau. Kei te pia koe. Morena a te marie. If you're a first time viewer and you like this video, please click like. I'd like to get my numbers up. I'd like to get my views up. If you like my style, please subscribe. I love sharing my world of tarot and readings with you. If you have any suggestions on what type of questions you would like me to inquire for you about, I'm willing to do that for you. So just leave me messages, connect with me below this video, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here. So so just for the video's sake, I will go, this is number one, number 2, number 3. Okay. Just for the people who want to tune in at a later stage and not listening to me, just rambling. Okay. So we have our power show for our first bundle. What is it that you're not seeing coming? Okay. Did I put my phone on silent? I'll just check. No, I didn't. What can we see what we're doing here? So what is it that you're not seeing coming? So we have, just want to do a quick shuffle while I tune into the group that chose this bundle. So we have this 8 of Wands falling out. So things are moving fast. You know, this card is ruled by Sagittarius. It's fire. This is a card that resembles communication, short distance travel, things speeding up in the way of communication and movement in your life. I feel maybe these traveling outside, away from the city. Maybe this could be a short trip away from the city, close to a river. This card is really literally in the environment. That's what I like about the Rider-Waite, is it describes the environment. So I feel like close to a river, out of town, traveling coming up, or communication concerning an area that is rural. But sometimes this is also the arrows of love. This speed things up, makes it happen faster. Doors are open. So maybe something that you've been waiting on is unexpectedly starting to move forward. This could be business because it's wands. It could be spiritual. Maybe you're on a spiritual journey. But things are starting to shake loose and move forward. We do have Saturn going direct in September, around about the middle of September. And I feel like Saturn, the planet of karma, it has a huge impact on energy that keeps us maybe stagnant in some way, shape, or form. It slows things down because Saturn is karmic. It's the ruler of time as we perceive it. It's also wanting to stick to the rules. So sometimes Saturn slows us down to force us to take our time with something. And if you feel like you've been stuck, then I feel like something is going to be coming unstuck for you. Okay. We have someone who's juggling two situations here. This could be two jobs. Maybe you've been working two jobs for quite some time. Maybe there are two different accounts concerning money, and you're taking from the one account to pay the other, and vice versa. This has been going on. Your financial situation is up and down. It's either feast or famine, and you're trying to find the balance between these two. I also feel like it could be something concerning just a very fluid schedule, that something about your daily routines doesn't allow you to have a set in stone kind of schedule. Must be free flow, must be, um, how do I say it? Uh, um, must be fluid. Fluid is what I see. And this card is ruled by Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. But with this card coming in as an obstacle, I feel like it's like there's too much variety. Like you need to simplify something, because in reverse, as a challenge, this card, it feels like something is going to get dropped. Like you need to let go of one situation to improve this movement. I feel like having to juggle is slowing you down. That maybe you have to get rid of one um thing that you're juggling. It could be two people as well. You could be juggling two people, and once again, this could be clients, could be business. If it's in spirituality, maybe there are two practices. You have to choose one and focus on the one. This is calling for focus to be able to travel faster. It's like when you are, what's the word, in archery, you have to be focused to be able to hit your mark. And these very much resemble kind of like arrows. So I feel like having to juggle is slowing this process. And maybe this is also what's keeping you stuck in that loop of, not being able to move forward, is because there's just too much going on. We have the moon, so you definitely can't see something coming, and we will see what this is. This is about trusting your intuition. Um, Feeling frustrated with a situation. um Definitely not, you can't see anything, in the way of how this is going to change. You can't see how it's going to change. We have people coming in who's willing to collaborate with you. So this is in the near past, because we're having a really good look at the situation. In the near past, I feel like you most probably had an opportunity where you took on an extra sort of responsibility, which put you in a situation. Maybe you feel um, responsible to other people who are collaborating with you on a project, and now you are juggling this situation because you feel obliged, you feel like there is really good potential for this, but now it has taken time from your daily schedule, and it is kind of like putting the frustration. You're feeling frustrated because it's difficult to manage the schedule and you can't see how this is going to change because you feel like there's a responsibility towards the other people that's involved in this project. But we do have really good communication, a really good understanding, a wonderful partnership, sharing from heart to heart. This could even be a healing modality that you've been studying, but I feel like if you speak about this situation, then and so what you can't see coming is that you're going to choose to end this juggling. Okay, that you can't see how it's going to, how you can maintain that, but there's an inevitable ending coming towards you to end the situation of juggling and frustration. And this will, even if you don't change it overnight, in other words, hand in a resignation or through communication, I feel like it's almost like a phasing out so that you don't let the other people down. I feel like there is an agreement that is going to be reached, an understanding, especially when you start communicating with the other people involved in a situation. That it will slowly but surely it will change and it will phase out for you, but you will be moving on to experiences that is going to be maybe better suited to you in the long term. So the timing for this, we have Scorpio, death is Scorpio ruled. And Scorpio time is from the 21st of October till the 21st of November. So I feel like even if you're juggling now, you'll still be kind of feeling the frustration. With this card, Moon is ruling Cancer, so that's from 21st June to 21st July. But there's also a strong Piscean connection here as well, so Pisces, Cancer kind of energy. So you might have started to feel this frustration around about July, and you know something has to change. You're going to change it through communicating and speaking to other people involved. So now let's have a look at the cards you have. Okay, so this one was on top. It says from nothing to everything. And I feel like, when we spread ourselves too thin, that sometimes we don't really achieve a lot because there's a lack of focus, because we have too many things going on. And it says that, for this card, it might feel like you are blocked because of circumstances beyond your control. But it's normally when we embrace that situation and we allow that feeling of, how do I say it, disempowerment, because it feels like forces outside is trying to put you in a situation it's very difficult to get out of. But it's when we allow that process, when we meet the challenge of, and we recognize the blocked energy, that we can um, create more stability in our inner world. And it's when we acknowledge this energy of being stuck that the struggle normally seems to end. And um, sometimes we forget that something magical can happen when we participate with the unfolding story of our own soul journey. So we're open to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, and happening to us when we are in a situation of feeling stuck. So when we become open, that is when there's a possibility to move forward. And this speaks to me of that death card that's coming out. Okay, and then the next one is blessing of Al Hakim, and this, once again, it's about a paradox of life. And you might feel that, unexpectedly, when you're in the situation, you start to move forward. That's when you start to see the visions and the inspiration and the purpose of your life through your own divine passion. And it's clearer than ever, clearer than before. And it also gives you that momentum to move forward. So I feel like from the situation that you find yourself in, that you can't see coming, that you feel you are stuck, it is bringing with it a whole lot of blessings, because this oracle comes with a special guidance to bring you peace concerning the situation. And it says, look to the old ways, to the ancient wisdom teaching that run as one vein of life, giving love through all traditions. So this could be about traditional values, it could be about what you refuse to let go, but you have to transmute it to be able to move forward in your life. Something needs to change for you to be able to come unstuck in a situation of juggling. But I feel like even if you don't do anything about the situation of juggling and not being able to move forward, that life will present you with opportunities to just let it die a slow, healthy death. Okay, so there's an ending that is coming. You can't see this because it seemed like it's going to go on indefinitely, but I feel like it will end. So thank you for watching. If you resonate with this, because as we know in tarot, time is fluid, time is not every reading will resonate with everyone. But if you resonate and you find yourself, like you can give me feedback on this, it's much valued. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Okay, so our next bundle was our Manaya, which is a spiritual protection. It's a Maori symbol for spiritual protection. I like to put my Manaya there where it can be seen. Okay, so we have these two little cards, and let's just shuffle. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, just sharing your world, giving me your attention. We have two cards falling out. So this is about what you can't see coming. Please give me feedback on if you resonate with this. Remember, tarot is fluid. Not everyone will resonate with a reading, and time is fluid. Could be vice versa. Just put it where it fits, and if it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. Okay. So with these two cards falling out, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles to me is long term, is family, is long-standing project, is the family legacy. This is concerning the whole family, your family tree. This is my DNA card. And then we have the King of Pentacles falling out. So I feel like you are dealing with someone in the family who is very stubborn, because the King of Pentacles is coming out reversed. It's coming out as a challenge. And as we know, Pentacles is ruled by Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You are dealing with someone in the family who is very set in the way on how they want to do things, very traditional, but also just focusing on themselves, very self-centered. And maybe, our question that we're inquiring here is something that you don't see coming. So this could be someone who's very stubborn concerning family money, very stubborn, maybe someone who'd even turn their back on the family, because when the King of Pentacles come out reverse, this is someone who is just doing themselves. They just focusing on themselves, their money, their career, creating their own stability. So I feel like it could be one of two situations: either a very controlling person in the family trying to control the family legacy, family money, or it could potentially be someone who has walked away trying to create their own family and their own legacy through focusing on themselves and their own goals. Okay, and very stubborn, very persistent concerning the situation. Okay, and if this person is a Taurus, once they've made up their mind, they made up their mind. Okay, like a Taurus, once they have arrived at a certain conclusion and they've made their decision, they're very, very, very difficult to move. And this person is unmovable. It's unstoppable. This, to try and reason with this person is almost impossible. So we have a Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like there's another person who is kind of like cut from the same cloth. There's a lot of pentacles here. I feel this could be a husband and a wife. This could be a power couple. This could be a feminine person having to deal with a very, very, very stubborn masculine person who refuses to see things her way concerning family matters, concerning family money, long term investments. But she's still speaking to him. She hasn't given up. Like, as I said, cut from the same cloth. She's speaking from her heart. She's being very practical about this. She's still open to have conversations with him, even though he's not willing to listen. She's still willing to invest her time and her energy. If he is stubborn in the way of making up his mind, in the way of totally not open to negotiation. This woman, she is stubborn on it. She'll just keep on trying and trying and trying. She hasn't given up on this person yet. That's so very stubborn, but she sees the future. She sees that it is important to be able to get through to this person who, for some or other reason, is so very set in his ways that he just doesn't want to negotiate. But she's still pushing for negotiation. She's speaking from her heart. She realizes that everything isn't set in stone. That there should be a connection to the heart, a connection to the emotion, and things that come from a good place. Okay, but I see all this yellow here, so I feel like everything is out in the open. There's a really good. Um, I love how these cards speak to each other. See this man and this woman here? I feel like this is a married couple or someone in the family. This could be an established partnership. But I feel like this man and this woman is this man and this woman. Because look at the yellow there and look at the yellow here. So I feel like this is a couple talking about money and long-term investment. So what don't you see coming? So in the past, you had to deal with cutting away, cutting your losses, starting over, starting fresh. There's been a huge transformation in the way of how you see family, how you see finances, how you do long-term investments, in whom you invest worth. I see this big white rose. So in other words, there's a lot of purity. There's a lot of honesty here. There's been painful lessons in this communication, but painful lessons in this relationship, but maybe both of you have gone through changes, and that is how you ended up together as well. I feel like the death card could be these two individuals having to deal with losses individually and then deciding to invest in each other, a long-term committed partnership. Okay, so this is how these two people maybe even got together, because they have a lot in common. They understand the language of loss. So we have a page of swords here. So this could be a child in the family or a young person who is very curious. So they communicate in an immature way. If this is the this couple speaking to each other, I feel like they're speaking to each other concerning the situation in small ways, like maybe texts, or they're not addressing the situation fully. There is a stop go kind of situation around this. I feel like this could be an investment communication around an investment with a property. This could be a business deal, concerning a factory, concerning a business manufacturing something, and there are messages coming, these small bits of communication concerning this long-term investment. Maybe this one person has really good ideas on how to move forward, but the king is saying, no, I want to keep things the same. It doesn't have to be a big thing, okay? This could just be two people trying to determine the future of a business or a or an opportunity to invest long term, but they have different points of view concerning the situation. What you don't see coming is that one of these two people will give up on trying to bring in that heart and that passion because it's just taking too much. And I feel like this could potentially be this queen, because look how she's dressed. She's wearing red, and there is this person with this red cape moving on, but I don't feel like she's moving on from this, from the masculine person or the masculine dominant person. I just feel like she's moving on, giving up trying to convince the masculine that there is a different way that could potentially be a better investment, because she's deciding to move on simply because it's taking too much of her emotional, it's having a toll on her emotional well-being. She feels like all her efforts that she's trying to make this person, this very stubborn person, see her points of view and possibilities, because she's also stable. She's not one that makes decisions hot and fast, okay? But she knows how to work with money, and so does he. They know how to work with their resources, all right? But it's just like they've come up with a stalemate kind of situation. And what I feel this person, or even the feminine, she thinks, because she's so stubborn, most probably feel like I can out stubborn this man. But I feel like eventually she's gonna feel like I need to move on from this because it's just taking too much of my emotional well-being to try and introduce a different kind of energy in this investment. But I do feel everything is stable. It is just like this feminine person will be giving up on trying to make him see, other perspectives. So it says reclaim your art and rebel. So I feel like this queen here, even though we don't have any rebellious cards, but we do have this little page of swords here, this immature communication, and maybe this is why it's not working, is maybe there's a third person involved that's causing upset. Maybe this is like your rebel energy saying, a third party with their how do I say it, with their radical and sporadical ways of communication, is just stirring things up, wanting to go against the grain. Even though we have a queen here who's very stable, I kind of see that maybe she's giving up on trying to deal with both these two people. But I could also feel like maybe this young person who's trying to give the what we call it, the penny's worth, is also just stirring things up just to confuse things, or but it's about reclaiming your art. So I feel like this is where she's going. She's going to reclaim her own talents. Maybe she wants to strike out the branch off into a different direction to say, okay, well, if you don't want to join me on this venture, then I could potentially do it by myself. And she's reclaiming her own power and her own creativity, because this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, which is emotional. It's water. It flows. She's moving on. She's moving forward. So I feel like what you don't see coming is that there's going to be one person walking away, and maybe even her saying, well, she's rebelling as well in her own way to say, well, refuse to be stuck in a situation that I feel is not good for me on an emotional way, and I feel like she might, or this other person as well, maybe two people will move on and make their own things, their own situation happen for them, instead of being stuck in a situation where they feel like maybe is boring. You know, there's a lot of coins here. There's a desire for creativity, there's a desire to do things in a different way. And I feel like maybe this queen and this person might be deciding to move on and do something, you know, rebellious, and do it in their way, and leave this king to deal with what he feels comfortable with. So, thank you for watching. If you resonate with this reading, please give me feedback. I loved reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Light and love. Love. Frog in the throat. I've been struggling with a bit of a cold, and that's also one of the reasons why I've been a little bit quiet. So now we go on to our last one, last pick a deck, pick a card. I love my organite, beautiful stuff. So here we have our two little cards there from our Magical Mermaids and Dolphins by Doreen Virtue. And I'll just once again shuffle to tune in, because this is a new group. So what is it that you're not seeing coming? What's your blind spot? Let's have a look. So please bear with me. It's the first time I'm using this vice versa. It puts me through my reading skill paces. I like to freshen things up. I love the art in this deck. So okay, what you don't see coming. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups reversed here. So this is concerning a situation where you feel maybe that love is out of reach. That, you know, the wishes and the hopes and the dreams. It's like the Ten of Cups, but it's Ten of Cups reversed. I feel like it could potentially also be about moving on from a situation where you feel you didn't feel happy in a family relationship, or you didn't feel happy at home, because Ten of Cups is about home, and there's this desire to either renew or revitalize love in the home, because these cups down here, they empty, but it's that potential of having that brand new beautiful start in the way of love, inspiration, spirituality. And maybe you are in a situation where things have been a bit stagnant concerning your own emotional happiness and well-being. So there is a situation surrounding love, and stories and issues around the heart that is coming to the fore. So what you're not expecting is something to do with love, inspiration, beauty. Um, and we have strength reversed. It's almost like you've given up on a situation. Oh no, this is temperance. It's not strength. Okay, so temperance reversed is about losing your patience, not knowing how to find your equilibrium, being out of balance, feeling that the situation concerning your heart and love and family and happiness, how you experience your emotions, that it's a bit out of balance. You could be emotionally up and down. Um, fighting to maintain strength, fighting to try and keep the eagle eye, on the bigger picture of your life. Maybe also feel abandoned by your angels and spiritual beings. Maybe you can't hear when you pray. You can't. It feels like your prayers are hitting the ceiling. And look, we here have the eagle, which is a representative of Scorpio, and then we have the lion here, which is represented by Leo. And then we have angel, which is Sagittarius, the angel of alchemy and healing. And that's crossing you. So I feel like with Temperance coming out as a double reverse, so it's reversed in the cards, but also reversed in the challenging is also sort of like it's in the challenge position. I feel like trying to maintain your equilibrium when it comes to your emotional happiness is a true challenge. It's like you don't know how to be happy anymore. You feel like you need healing on heart level. You need to heal your emotions. And it's taking you a long time. It feels like there's something that's happened that you just don't know how to process it. You don't know how to move on from it. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands here. Someone is putting up their defenses. This is like be vigilant all day and all night. This is someone who doesn't sleep. Maybe slight PTSD, what we call it, post traumatic stress disorder or syndrome, or it is someone who's been through the wars so badly on heart level that it's like you on the lookout for the next a battle. You don't sleep. It's like you sleep with your eyes open in case you feel like you're in the eye of the storm because you can't see what's coming. This person can see what's coming. This person, they in the night, they're waiting for the enemy to strike at any moment. Okay, so please, this reading might not resonate with everyone, but if it does, please give me a heads up. We also have the Four of Pentacles. So this is also a situation where you don't want to let go of this. You don't want to let go of the lessons, the dear lessons that you've learned concerning lessons of the heart, love. Okay, so I feel like this person is built boundaries around them. They refuse to go out and be part of larger groups. They're sitting at home. They've becoming a homebody, uh, protecting themselves at all costs. I feel a sense of isolation around here as well. Long-term isolation, maybe something like 4 years, because it's coins. So that's long-term. I don't feel it's 4 days or 4 weeks. Potentially 4 months, but more likely 4 years. So this is something that's been going on for quite a time, because there is this don't know how to heal from this with a slight PTSD. And it also feels like you've been unjustly treated. So injustice, I feel. No, hang on. Justice is coming for you. This is injustice. See, with the scales lying on the floor and that sword, but we have justice coming for you. So this is Libra. Libra ruled. Libra is from 21st October till 21st November. So I feel like the universe is keeping score of what is happening in your life. And if you have had to deal with all sorts of, how do we say this, unfair, unjust situations where life just has not been fair to you, I feel like justice is coming, and it's coming very soon, because the universe is keeping score of all the good and all the bad. And I see the universal law of balance. For every tear that is shed, there must also be an equal amount of happiness experienced. So put this where it fits, okay? Because I feel over here there's been too much sadness, a long time waiting for love, a long time waiting for healing on heart level, struggling to recover from maybe even PTSD. Maybe you do have PTSD, and this extra vigilant energy from and holding on to the past, but the universe has your back. It's weighing all the situations that you had to deal with that's really not good. And then we have the Empress here. So what you don't see coming is the abundance in your life. What you don't see coming is the overview of the reasons why, and everything making sense to you as to why things happened the way it did. Okay, there is an immense amount of abundance coming your way. You're going to leave everything behind. You know, there's a lot of losses suffered here. I see that skull there behind the Empress's throne. And the Empress, she has everything. You know, she doesn't waste time to chase anything down that doesn't come to her. She's sitting on a throne and she rules her kingdom. There's a lot of creativity here. Something is about to get born, but you don't see it. There's a rebirthing happening. There's a rebirthing on the verge of happening in your life, and this is what you can't see because you're too focused on the past. You've become stagnant in your own creativity. You're not open to receive the abundance that you're so willing to give out to other people. But I feel like the universe is stepping in. It's going to balance the scales in your favor. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And it's not going to ask any questions. It doesn't want to hear long stories. It is going to see the energetics, weigh out the energetics in those scales, and look at those scales are balanced. In other cards, the scales are, still weighing, still going to and fro, but I feel like a decision has been reached here to balance those scales, so the clock is ticking for things to swing into your favor. So what you're not seeing is the abundance that's coming to you. You're not seeing this uh, how do I say it, this crystal clear night sky that is lit up just for you. Look, it's night. It's a card of the night, but she's sitting like she's in daylight. She's clearly visible. She knows this is recognition for hard work, recognition. This is abundance on all levels, heart level, mental level, clarity, having your answers, receiving closure, whatever the situation is. Okay, so you can't see that coming, and it says have faith at the bottom. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. Even if you can't, if your world is so dark that you can't see the light, if you can't get yourself to say a positive affirmation in the morning, then at least go online, Google the 22 universal laws, and Google the law of balance. Okay, the law of balance applies here. So thank you for watching. If you resonate, please leave me comments. I loved reading for you. Have a beautiful day. Light and love.